What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here on the Odd Shopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Atlanta's up big right now. Hopefully they can hold on for us. Kind of in a new groove here where I'm actually hitting locks. That's fun. You know, the other thing is that now I would like to hit home runs again. It's amazing. You always miss the one you can't have. It's always out of your reach. If I could reach. God, singing right off the bat in the intro, that's never a good sign. 15 game slate. Good thing we don't have a whole lot of time to do that. But I think I'll find some. Anyway, BetMGM, you guys want to be checking that out. If you have DraftKings Sportsbook, FanDuel Sportsbook, this makes a good third sportsbook to be jumping on here. Why? Well, they've got some great offers. They also have some great lines to take advantage of. That's the most important part. That's why you want exposure to multiple books, is that we're odd shopping. It's why it's called Odd Shopper. Looking for the best line every single day and betting it at the book where it is most appropriate to do so. You're also going to get 2 months of Odd Shopper Discord access, my betting card every single Sunday through Friday, but not just me. Ben Raza, Eitan Shander, Isaiah Soros, so many genius analysts that we have here at Odd Shopper, all for the low price of free $99. You're also going to get an extra, what is it? If you bet something and it loses, well, you're going to get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets. So if you bet $50 on your first bet and it wins, cool, you get the winnings. If it loses, you're going to get $50 back in bonus bets, all the way up to $1,000 if you want to be so keen as to do that. So take advantage of whatever it works in your budget, but take advantage of all the sportsbook offers you can, whether it's BetMGM. If you haven't signed up for DraftKings and FanDuel, I know they've got some offers that are going away over the weekend. You can look down at the video description box below. Look down. That was Les Miserables in the intro. Lots of weird things happening. You know what? Producer Alicia, we just got to get to the picks. That's really what it comes down to. 15 games, roll the tape. Happy Friday, friends. We're beginning it with a play here at Wrigley Field. We've got the Baltimore Orioles and Chicago Cubs going at it. And to the guy in the video description box below yesterday who was like, Eric, you can't throw a 92-mile-per-hour fastball. Why are you making fun of people who throw 92-mile-per-hour fastballs? They're really talented. Well, yeah, that's why they're in the major leagues. But also, we're talking about them relative to other talent in the major leagues. And it's ridiculous that we would be doing anything else. Then why is anybody talking about sports ever? It's comparison. It's cheering for your team, hoping one thing succeeds over another. Also why we bet, because we want to make a lot of money. But either way, Cole Irvin on the mound here. Soft tossing lefty going up against Kyle Hendricks, a very soft tossing righty. However, his keys, he gets a 33.3% hard hit percentage with that sinker. That's what he's got to induce. He's got to induce soft contact because he has just a 16% K rate. People are going to put it in play on him. 4.50 expected ERA, little bit squeamish there. Has a 3.09 ERA, so he's finding ways to be successful. But friends, on Thursday, wind was blowing in hard out of center. If it's going to continue, which it expects to, but that's why you're seeing 7.5 as the total with 2 terrible pitchers on the mound, you should actually be leaning towards that under. But I'm actually going to be leaning towards this Cubs side because I'm a little bit confused why they are the dogs here in this spot. I get it. The Cubs, they don't have as good of a lineup as Baltimore has. We've backed Baltimore a lot this season as dogs against the likes of Toronto and the Yankees, so on and so forth. But Cole Irvin is so bad. A 590 expected slugging, a 347 expected batting average, a 429 xWOBA. But the best thing he has going for his pitching arsenal is the fact that Adley Rutschman is his catcher. There's no other good that I can really point to here. He throws a 92, yeah, you heard me, 92-mile-per-hour fastball. What you gonna do about it? It's not very good. He's got first percentile expected batting average and expected slugging and expected ERA compared to xWOBA, which is just as bad as it gets. Now, why is it 7.5? Because the wind's blowing in again. It's expected to blow in, so be paying attention to that. But still, give me the dogs here in this spot where I think the Cubbies, hey, I know it's left on left, but nice to see Cody Bellinger back. Let's get a little spiritual lift going here as the weekend begins. The only game going on before, what is it? I'm not going to look it up because I don't want producer Alicia to kill me. So, Chicago money line, we move our way along. Now we start the 7:05 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:05 Pacific Time window of games. There's only one before it. See, now I looked it up and that was good. But Sandy Alcantara going up against Trevor Williams here of the Nats. Oh boy. This is a real delicious matchup. Now, the Marlins have been really, really good despite the faults. Yes, the faults of their Cy Young winner from last year. Could they get that guy to this team? Because that would be very dangerous. And yeah, you're damn right I ended up backing Mackenzie Gore here. What's the score of that game? I'm on +1.5 Washington. 0-0, middle of third. Okay, cool. Well, Washington's just going to be hosting Miami here once they get out of Houston, which I'm sure they can't wait to do. It's a pretty good baseball team on the other side. In this one, well, Sandy Alcantara coming isn't exactly ideal, but he has not been his normal self this season, that's for sure. A 41.6% hard hit percentage, just a 20.6% K rate. Although even though he throws at 99-100, yeah, there's something I can't do. Shocker. Can I still talk about it? Anyway, 4.11 expected ERA, 4.75 ERA. And again, high 90s fastball. Doesn't really move, though. It gets hit, and he doesn't induce a whole lot of swings and misses on it. So it is what it is. It's been an interesting year for sure for the reigning NL Cy Young winner. 5 earned, 4 earned, 4 earned in 3 of his last 5 games. Pretty wild stuff. You're going to get some hot. You're going to get some cold. You're going to get some yes. You're going to get some no. You're in, then you're out. We're not singing Katy Perry on this program. That's a definite no. She's hot, though. Anyway, Miami, -1.5. Still going to be leaning that direction because Trevor Williams is just not that dude. A 353 xWOBA, 502 expected slugging, and there's power in that lineup right there. Get him out of Miami. Get them the heck out of Miami. However, I'm going to be waiting, and this is why I put this in the lean category. I think we have an opportunity, my friends. I think we have an opportunity to get a better number on this one as we get closer to first pitch. It's at -105, best available on DraftKings Sportsbook, Caesars Sportsbook. I'd be okay with that, but I'm calling it a lean simply because even money would be even better. Even money, even better? No? I'm not funny. I'm sorry. Run line, just a lean as it stands right now. 15 games, yeah. Don't force anything. We got the Yankees. We got the Red Sox. I heard this is a rivalry. Somebody told me that once. I don't think these two teams like each other. They've played a lot of baseball games against each other for thousands of years or something. I don't know. These are not the two pitchers that you're going to highlight and star when they're going at it, though. Domingo Germán, Tanner Houck. 40.8% hard hit percentage for Germán, 43.4% hard hit percentage for Tanner Houck. Tanner Houck does have an interesting enough arsenal, so does Domingo Germán at times. Only problem with him is he is an extreme fly ball pitcher, 15.8 degree average launch angle so far this season, and the four-seamer, he's been better. Again, I'm not going to exactly just start backing him here with the 4.29 expected ERA, which is up. That would be the highest he's had in the last 3 seasons, and we saw some massive ERAs for him back 2019, 2021, right around that pandemic time. So capstoning it on each side of it. Didn't pitch in 2020 for what it's worth. There were some people who opted out. But anyway, Domingo Germán, not my favorite pitcher in all the land. You do get all of this lefty power that exists. With great power comes great responsibility. In Boston, well, I need you to put up runs, but I also need the Yankees to put up runs on Houck. And I look at this lineup in its current iteration without Aaron Judge, without Harrison Bader. You do get French Cordero, even though he was just optioned to AAA, so there's no way he's going to be playing baseball, and I just take back everything. Jake Bauers is the guy that I had circled, highlighted, starred. You also get Willie Calhoun, who's been in this lineup a lot against righties and actually been a little bit more effective than what you ever saw in Texas. Texas still hates that guy, I'm pretty sure. 43.6% hard hit percentage this season, 375 expected slugging, and exclusively doing all of his damage going up against these righties. Gleyber Torres, Anthony Rizzo. Can we get enough from some of these other fellows? Because I don't like backing Boston here, but I do expect runs. And here's the thing. I think the Yankees can do just enough against Houck. And this bullpen, it's a little bit lackluster. We're starting to heat up. We need warmer temperatures out here on this East Coast and the West Coast. It's cloudy, dungy everywhere. Whatever. Over 9 is a like for me in this one. 9.7 being the projection. That is good enough for me. Next game. I really wanted to pull the trigger on this one, and I looked up a couple of numbers that are a little bit different than the normal things I would talk about on the show. I love talking about xWOBA. I love talking about xFIP. I love talking about all the advanced analytics, but let's talk salary, shall we? 3 years, $55.75 million with a $5 million signing bonus. You know what that gets you? Miles Michaelis of the St. Louis Cardinals, What in the world? He has been awful this season, going up against one Tyler McGill, who's also been disappointing here. Two disappointing pitchers here on the mound, and I was hoping that something was going to grade out well for me here, but this is like dead on. Everything's dead on. 8.5. I was hoping for maybe a 9, could maybe look at an under, was looking at an 8, maybe taking over. But it's smack dab in the middle, and I think the books have it spot on here. Miles Michaelis, though, what are we doing here, bro? A 294 expected batting average, just a 17.6% K rate. Does have that sub 5% walk rate. He always limits the walks. Good for you, sir. But a 4.87 expected ERA, I'm telling you, if that's all that $55 million gets you in MLB for 3 years now, maybe I can. No, I can't. No, I wouldn't be that guy. Yeah, I'll just judge them inappropriately. I apologize. How dare I? He's just not been good. 40.8% hard hit percentage. Nice, though. Always nice to know that you're not going to be facing Pete Alonso in this lineup. Now, do they start going to a Narvaez and Alvarez combination where you have the DH there for one of them? Alvarez has been batting second against righties here so far. Well, at least the last couple games. I don't know. Going to be an interesting thing to see how that Mets lineup comes out, but we know how St. Louis's lineup looks going up against Tyler McGill every time they face a righty. You could always take a look at the Nolan Gormans, the Brendan Donovans of the world, see if you find any good numbers there. So just keep that in your back pocket for all you prop people. Speaking of all you prop people, I think you're going to like the new video that I'm adding to the fray next Monday. I think Lindy's is coming to the prop pick'em streets. Yeah, you heard me. It's going to be great stuff. But that's a conversation for a different day. This conversation right now is about Tyler McGill. If my sheet would upload, it hates me. Everything hates me right now. A 468 expected slugging, sub 17% K rate, and a 12% walk rate. So he's bad like Miles Michaelis in terms of all of his expected WOBA, expected batting average. But now you're adding walks to the fray. It's uncomfortable. I think I would still be looking at the Mets side of this, considering you're getting even money on the New York Mets here, but I don't want to bet it. Do you want to bet it? I don't want to bet it. No. Nolan Gorman, maybe be the hero that Gotham deserves. Nah, nothing. This sucks. I'm done talking. Finally, we have reached a lock, and oh boy, I have some very interesting plays starting right about now. We're going to Colorado and Atlanta here in this one, and Dinelson Lamet. It's been tough for Dinelson Lamet, and I kind of cheer for this guy because, well, he had a lot of injuries. Some bad stuff happened to him in San Diego, ends up getting a second shot here, and it has not gone well with the Rockies. 48.6% hard hit percentage, a 335 xWOBA, and a 15% walk rate. Does have that 22.8% K rate, and I do think he's been getting extremely unlucky considering 10.38 ERA. You wouldn't give the guy the ball if he didn't have a decent enough expected ERA. Now it's 4.62. That's terrible, but it's still better than you would expect looking at that surface number. He's still getting acclimated going from that bullpen type situation to now being lengthened out. He's been lengthened out to 83, 91 pitches. And now, well, this is the worst spot of them all. At least he's not pitching in Coors. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? I could, but this is basically going to be a Coors spot here for these Atlanta Braves. Now, you still have no CJ Cron. You still have no Chris Bryant here on the Rockies side, but yet they get a matchup against Jared Schuster. And I don't completely hate what I'm looking at in terms of Colorado being able to add a run or two to the fray. He's got just a 5.10 expected ERA, a 350 xWOBA, and a 353 xWOBA. That's actually not horrendous by any means, but 13.8% K rate. He's not going to be missing bats and friends. He also throws it tops out at a 92 mile per hour fastball. I just had to build it for dramatic effect. That doesn't really matter to me. What matters is that this Braves offense is absolutely stone cold, silly, and redonkulous. And, well, I think they're going to be the ones being able to put up the runs on Dinelson Lamet. I think Jared Schuster gets hit up just enough, but friends, we want to get aggressive in this kind of a spot. I want to get very aggressive. Can Schuster put it together against this extremely weak Colorado lineup that, yes, they've had better numbers against righties, but this is a lefty on the mound. They have just a 61 WRC plus, which is the worst mark by 16 runs created in all of baseball, and have a 26.7% K rate. I just want to target them. I want the Braves. I want the over of 9.5 runs, and I want the run line, and I want it now. I want it all. I want it all. I think I have to post this on Twitter. This is going to be really embarrassing after the fact. But either way, Atlanta on the run line, -1.5, plus the over of 9.5 runs. Let's go tomorrow. We had some really good pitchers in Shohei Ohtani and Nathan Eovaldi teeing off in this one in the kickoff of this series. And, well, different series now. Good job, Eric. Kevin Gausman of the Toronto Blue Jays head to Texas here. Martin Perez on the mound for them. And Kevin Gausman, he's been awesome. 33.2% K rate, 294 xWOBA. You look at the four-seamer combination with the split, that's really all he throws are those two pitches. He mixes in a slider on rare occasion. But all you have to do with Kevin Gausman when you're going through his numbers is look at that four-seamer, look at the split, see how they're doing. Well, that split is ridiculous. It's one of the best pitches, if not the best pitch in baseball. It's up there with the splitter of another guy, Shohei Ohtani. He's kind of good, but a 46.3% whiff percentage and a 27.1% put away percentage on the season with that pitch. It is so good. It might be one of those rapper girls pitches, but either way, I want to get to the Toronto side if I can, if the numbers made sense, but alas, they don't, because I'm not going to be doing that against a Texas team that has a 127 WRC plus. Well, that's against lefties. Isn't this great when your numbers just don't update the way you want them to? There we go. 117 WRC plus against right-handed pitching. That's second best mark in baseball behind the Tampa Bay Rays. So probably not an ideal spot. And Martin Perez, well, he's not exactly good. And that's really the side of it that we want to be targeting. He's got a 291 expected batting average, just a 16.1% K rate. And there's a couple of guys who do strike out. Matt Chapman, Dalton Varsho, even though nobody else on this team strikes out, that's for sure. That's really exciting for me because, well, we're going to get to our George Springer here. 462 expected slugging, 351 xWOBA. I'm going to be paying close attention to him. He's up to 10 homers on the season. Wild to see Matt Chapman and Vlad Guerrero with fewer homers than George Springer and 14 for Bo Bichette. What? 538 expected slugging, 384 xWOBA last year. You were getting some crazy numbers. I was going over historical pricing on previous seasons. Bo Bichette is just hitting for power now, and it's changed drastically in the marketplace, which leads me to this. I always throw these out because I want to get you like a break-even number. I want better on George Springer and Bo Bichette than plus 340. If you're not getting better than plus 340 on both of them, don't bet either of them. If you're getting better than plus 340, go ahead and fire them up. But Martin Perez in Arlington here, not the best park for righty power, although Texas has found ways to be pretty successful in that department. Give me the road team, ninth inning bump for both of these individuals. I'm going to look at the pricing. If you want to know if they end up making my card, hit me up on Twitter at Eric Lindquist. That's where you can find me. God, I hate this picture, but God, I love this book. It's BetMGM, friends. All you do is you go to the video description box below, you sign up using promo code OSInsider, which automatically should be added when you click on that link. But if it isn't, use promo code OSInsider, and you're going to get yourself not only exposure to another sports book to add to your DraftKings or your FanDuel or whatever books you have, but you're going to also get 2 months of OS Premium Discord, myself, Ben Raza, who's just sharp as all can be, Isaiah, Aton, all the guys you know and love here on the Odd Shopper channel at your disposal. You can check in with us. I'm in there all day long, much to my wife's chagrin. So many great opportunities for you guys to jump into that premium Discord. Get my betting card every single Sunday through Friday. And yes, I'm adding Pick'em. It's going to be great. We're going to have a Lindy's Pick'em coming out this week. Oh, yes, it's going to be a fun weekend for me, getting ready for that one. Can't wait to bring you all of that goodness. But also, when you sign up at BetMGM, you're going to get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet loses. So put $40, $50, $100, $250, $394.53. It doesn't matter what you bet for that first bet. You're going to get that money back in bonus bets if it doesn't win first time out. So don't bet a futures for, the Denver Nuggets for next year. It's not the wisest thing to be doing here at the moment with your money, and take a little while to settle that one, that's for sure, especially if Jokic keeps playing like this. But alas, this is a baseball show. This is a BetMGM promotion. Check them out, my friends, only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. You can also text that number. That's good stuff. All right, my friends, back to the picks. I said I have some interesting things on today's card, and I want to explain a couple of these plays because this is a lock. This is an absolute lock at this number. Which number am I talking about? We don't know yet. We shall see. We got the Halos heading over to Kansas City in this one. It is 90 degrees expected at first pitch in Kauffman Stadium. Welcome to humidity. Welcome to Kansas City. Don't wear pants. Don't wear pants, especially if you're golfing. I can speak from experience. But either way, Patrick Sandoval going up against Brady Singer. And Singer, he'd be a better wedding singer than a pitcher. Am I allowed to say that? All of you people who think I can't talk about whatever. Obviously, I'm not a pitcher. I throw out like 70. I suck. Brady Singer, 55.6% hard hit percentage, but I can hit a golf ball. 289 expected batting average, 507 expected slugging here on the season. Sinker slider combo. That's all he is out there doing. He has an 11.2% barrel percentage. And I don't know if you noticed, but there's some power in them bats on the Halo side. That's for sure. The Angels, a 108 WRC plus against righties on the season. Cool stuff. Cool Beans Coffee Shop. But Patrick Sandoval hasn't exactly been Guns N' Roses this entire season, that's for sure. Kind of the opposite. I was expecting a lot for him coming off of the World Baseball Classic, where I thought he looked phenomenal, like absolutely awesome. But up to a 272 expected batting average and a sub 17% K rate. This guy's K rate was at 25.9% going back to 2021. We are seeing it fall precipitously, which always leads me to, what happened to the velocity? Hey, it's the game show you all know and love. He's down a mile per hour on the season on that fastball too. 92 miles per hour. We're going to lock the over of 9 runs here, my friends, but there are a lot of 9.5s, and that is why I'm also throwing in a like on the over of 9.5. I'm not saying bet this twice, but I want you to get price sensitive. I want you to get number sensitive when I'm explaining out these things, because right now this is going to change going into tomorrow, and it could very likely change from this number you're looking at, over of 9, where just going to double check exactly where that number was at because I lost it on my sheet. There it is. Caesar Sportsbook minus 120, over of 9, but it's minus 114, the over of 9.5 at FanDuel. That is only 6-cent difference to get that hook. That is a big hook to get. So over of 9, lock it in, would be one of my favorite plays on the day, but it falls to the wayside if you have to place 9.5 at any other book. It's my show. I can do what I want, but we're back to standard, like, hey, just a normal play for you normal people who aren't me, because I'm not normal. We got Cincinnati Reds. We got the Houston Astros in this one. Look at that. I know and identify logos. Good job, Eric. Andrew Abbott, though, I can identify that he's been pretty good so far. 11 2/3 in his major league debut. I didn't know what to make out of him, considering, well, he had pitched quite a bit in Double-A. Then he went to Triple-A Louisville, excuse me. Don't want to have Kentucky come and burn down this Twitter account, that's for sure. But he went from Double-A Pensacola to Louisville, 2.50 ERA, 0.93 WHIP. Ends up putting up 11 2/3 at the big league level, 10 strikeouts in that time frame, and 105 pitches in both. 0 ERA, 1.11 WHIP. Yet to give up a run. He faced Milwaukee, which is one of the worst teams in all of baseball against lefties, so I'm not going to exactly go patting him on the back here yet. But then he did some goodness against St. Louis, against Nolan Arenado, against Paul Goldschmidt on the road. That was kind of impressive to me. Just gave up 5 hits in that outing. Now, he does have 7 walks through these 2 starts, so something to be paying close attention to. That can come bite you. But Houston doesn't have Yordan Alvarez right now, who, even though this would be left on left, is still one of the best hitters in baseball, even in those kind of situations. It's really sad. My year-long team is in shambles. But JP France on the other side, it's just a dude with goggles. 1.28 WHIP, 3.54 ERA. Those are your surface stats. And looking through everything else, we know by now that this sheet is taking forever for me to update. We do. We've understood that now, that I'm stalling for time. This is just so dumb. 37.5% hard hit percentage, just a 20.5% K rate thus far. Throws kind of an assortment of pitches, cutter, slider, change, curve, kind of a number of things across the way. Does have a 28.1% whiff percentage overall here, so it's a decent enough spot there. But even against Cincinnati, I'm going to roll the dice here. I think a 90 WRC plus is going to improve on the Cincinnati side against righty pitching. Why? Well, they added 2 of the best prospects in baseball to their roster, and it doesn't really do you a whole lot of good to look at the profile over the entire year. And as I'm putting them in individually, Ellie De La Cruz, yeah, he's going to be good. Matt McClain, yeah, he's already good. 328 average, 895 OPS with 3 homers, 13 ribbies, and a short sample size. My goodness, friends, those are better numbers. They're hitting at the top of the lineup. They're going to matter a lot more. And they could have the standout pitcher here. I'm not sure. Time shall tell, but I'm getting a nice price here. Plus 170 here on the money line to find out. That's too good to pass up. Plus 168 at FanDuel Sportsbook if you're not available to get that number over at BetMGM. My Minnesota Twins taking on Detroit for another just gung-ho baseball game that I don't want to invest any money in whatsoever. I just don't. I really don't. I really don't even want to talk about it. Joe Ryan's been exceptional. It's been awesome. 2.90 ERA, sub 1 whip, across the board awesome. He gets the Detroit matchup that we all know by now. It's really good to have, right? Yeah. 82 WRC plus isn't good. 123 ISO. That is the worst. No, it's not. Third worst mark in baseball against right-handed pitching. I would love for my sheet to update a little bit quicker today. That'd be cool. Not asking for much. Neither are the Detroit Tigers when it comes to finding any starting pitcher, especially with Erod, who had kind of found a resurgence now on the IL. But Tyler Alexander, Mr. Alexander Hamilton, no, it's not good. 1.10 whip. That seems decent, but a 5.24 ERA, not really lengthened out. And then you're going to turn it over to the bullpen, and that's where we don't have a number because, well, why would we? It's always decent to try to back a team in a bullpen situation because they can play the matchups earlier. They can really toy with some of these lefties on the Minnesota side. They've got a decent enough pen to make that happen, but kind of need a number. Minnesota money line lean. Didn't want to talk about it, but here we go. Next game, please. It is June 16th, Friday, June 16th of the year of our Lord 2023, and the Pittsburgh Pirates have a better record than the Milwaukee Brewers. I did not see that coming. Did you see that coming? I didn't see that coming. But here we are, and here we go. Got a pretty interesting pitching matchup. Julio Teheran, who's found some stuff with these Milwaukee Brewers, at least in the surface statistics, going up against Rich Hill, who has found not the fountain of youth because he looks 100. When you watch him pitch, it kind of hurts my back a little bit. But a 499 expected slugging for him on the season, 360x WOBA. We know that curveball is his primary pitch. It always has been. It always will be. And he's just going to throw it till the bitter end, friends. At least he gets a matchup here, a nice matchup going up against Milwaukee, who talked about it for the Abbott character that's pitching, the creative player who's actually a good pitcher so far in AAA, AA. Didn't mean to besmirch the good name of it, but lefties have been very successful against these Milwaukee Brewers this season. They have just a 77 WRC plus against that handedness, 136 ISO, and OBP. Yeah, you know me, 292 in that direction as well. 216 average as well. That is the worst in baseball by 5 points. Good job, good effort. Maybe you should have some righty power. Actually, they do have a little bit of righty power, but nothing that's fun. Either way, looking at the other side of this one, Julio Teheran, he's found it. 294x WOBA, 37.1% hard hit percentage, and a sub 4% walk rate. But he's not really getting the strikeouts, and I don't completely buy into what I'm seeing here at the moment. I do like the 3.47 expected ERA. But you go back as recently as 2 seasons ago when there was an actual sample size to go use. Actually, it was 3 ago in 2020. He had an 8.80 expected ERA and was completely broken. He's throwing this sinker. That's kind of his primary pitch here so far this season, 40.5% of the time. It does have a 394 expected slugging attached to it, but I'm not really sure that it's going to continue here in this direction. Again, a 1.48 ERA. I don't think anybody's going to disagree that that's a little bit of an outlier for what we could expect going forward, but he's also been giving up some solo shots. He's been giving up power. Eventually, somebody gets on base, a couple of opportunities open, and, well, opportunities arise. Shout out Luis Arise. I miss you. I miss you so much. But either way, Jack Sawinski is the guy that I want to be highlighting, starkling, and that's all. Starring and highlighting. Circling, squaring, starring. Whatever you want to do. Just play Jack Sawinski to homer. 15 homers here on the season. As long as he's better than plus 310. Yeah, I can't believe I just said that either. Is that pretty stupid to say out loud? Decent enough ballpark here for lefty power going to Milwaukee. Also an opportunity here for a 546 expected slugging and a 386 xWOBA, going up against Tehran, who has given up, I believe it's 3 home runs over this short sample size that we have on him so far this season. Let me double check. You know by now my sheet sucks. 2 homers, excuse me. I'm a damn dirty liar. But Jack Sawinski, 2 homer. That is going to be a lean for me. Look for that number. Ask me tomorrow in the premium Discord or here on twitter.com. We're taking on I hate that song. Cleveland, Arizona. Don't know why I was singing it. It was really ridiculous. It just came into my head. I didn't like it. But we've got Tristan McKenzie riding the church to a wedding. The Beatles hate me. Going up against Zach Gallen here, 27% K rate. He's my dude. 312 xWOBA. Now, he does have a 46.8% hard hit percentage, but you know what really helps when you give up hard contact? Facing the Cleveland Guardians. They aren't the Guardians of any galaxy with a 121 ISO and 85 WRC plus against right-handed pitching here on the season. So always be paying attention to Chase Field, but expected to have that roof closed because it's 194 degrees on the face of the sun out there in Phoenix, Arizona, these time of the year. It just is. I went out there for the 4th last year. Trust me. Really good idea. But Tristan McKenzie on the other side, we saw one outing against the Twins. We saw another outing here that did not go nearly as well last time around against, who was it against? I can always pick that. Houston. There we go, of course. 5 earned runs there. But 10 strikeouts right out of the gate and just 79 pitches against the Twins. Overall, Houston, with Yordan Alvarez in that lineup too for that day, I'm still going to say that they're pretty darn good, aren't you? Yeah, I think they're pretty good. I'm going to write him off here for this one. Tristan McKenzie, he's 6'5" up there, the slender little 165 pounds. At least there's going to be no wind down there in Chase Field. That's good for him. Have a burger, bro. You're good. You're good. You have money. He's got a 2.29 expected ERA, 4.50 ERA, and, well, I expect positive regression. In fact, I expect both of these pitchers to find a lot of success. Now, Arizona, I know how scary they can be. They've had some weird lineups of late, that's for sure. But Ketel Marte, always paying attention to that. He did pinch hit the other night. Very intrigued to see if he ends up in this lineup on Friday. I'm assuming that he does. I'm assuming he should be good. Oh, he was in the lineup on Thursday today. Didn't bet that game. No. That stayed far away from that game. Anyway, we are locking the under of 8.5 here. Don't know why I was stalling for time there. This is a very easy play. Under 8.5, my favorite play on the entire board, Tristan McKenzie. That expected ERA could get even better. He last season, 2.96 ERA, 3.54 expected ERA, even at 2.29 expected ERA so far this season. I think he could be very, very good based on what we've seen in that pitch mix the first 2 outings, even against the Houston Astros, where we got knocked around a little bit. So here you go. Gallen, McKenzie, let's party. We go from a party to whatever you want to call this. We've got Philadelphia heading into Oakland, where they aren't protesting on any other day besides one. Cool. Way to show out on your one day of a 162 game season where you're playing 81 of those things at home. It was really dumb. It's cool to watch them win and win 7 in a row and all that stuff. But like, way to stand up for your city one day of the year. We could do a lot of things one day a year, like go home for Christmas. I think. I don't really want to. Philadelphia, Oakland. This is going to be an interesting one, that's for sure. We got Taijuan Walker. We got JP Sears. This is another disgusting spot where I'm thinking about getting in on that Oakland side. Yeah, plus 140. I think we could look at some line movement going Philly's direction. So I'm going to sit and wait against Taijuan Walker, who has a 19.9% K rate, a 10.7% walk rate, and a 41.8% hard hit percentage. Now, Oakland, they strike out the second most in baseball against right-handed pitching at 25.3%. They only have an 88 WRC plus. So why am I so worried? Well, JJ Bleday, folks. I don't know. I don't really have any reason why we should be worried about it. It's a great ballpark. 8.5 is a pretty big total. And that mainly comes by way of the fact that JP Sears is on the other side. And actually not even JP Sears, because he's probably been the, dare I say it, the best pitcher against for sure the best pitcher for this Oakland rotation so far this season. He's got, well, not the most abysmal numbers compared to everybody else there. 4.15 ERA. It is a 4.87 expected ERA with a 12.2% barrel percentage. But against Philadelphia on the season, a 95 WRC plus against lefties. Do Philly have? Can you tell I'm tired? 25.5% K rate themselves, identical to that of what we got on the Oakland side. So value. Plus 140. Sure, Philadelphia wins the bullpen game. Everybody wins the bullpen game against Oakland. It is what it is. Que lastima. It's terrible. We are absolutely trying to make this the thing. I just want to wait for this line to go up to about plus 150, plus 160. Probably going to be on the card. I regret to inform you, it's probably going to be on the card. To the game of the night, in my opinion, I think this is going to probably be the one that I'm going to be tuning in for if I kick my feet up. I got a golf tournament on Saturday. I got to, just hang out, chill. You've noticed that I've stalled every single time waiting for everything to refresh on my end, right? Cool. It's Shane McClanahan and Yu Darvish on the mound for these two respective teams, Tampa Bay, San Diego. One team having a phenomenal year. One team, I think they're going to start turning on the Jets here as they got... No, I'm not going to say that. Stop it. Fernando Tatis. He's back in the fray, and there's no way to tie that into an Elton John song. Maybe you find it out for me. See, you couldn't come up with it either. 283 average, 14 homers already, a 902 OPS. I think I should have probably bet him. I know that we got 20 homers for a couple of guys around here, close to 20 homers for some others. I think somebody has 20 homers this season. I'll find out who that is. Just kidding. My computer's not working, so it doesn't really matter. We got Shane McClanahan here on one side of it. We've got Yu Darvish with that 26.3% K percentage. Both of these guys are exceptional pitchers, but really, Fernando Tatis is the only thing I'm remotely interested. Anytime he faces a lefty, period, from now until the end of time, I'm going to be interested. He's got a 550 expected slugging, 390 xWOBA against everybody so far this season. And you just go to some of the standard batting numbers that he's got there against them, against them lefties. What am I even saying? Why am I even here? What am I doing? Against lefties, he has a 1.141 OPS as opposed to a 826 OPS. Those are video game numbers. 319 average and, 5 homers in 47 at-bats. I repeat, 5 homers in 47 at-bats against lefties this season. That is stupid. It's very, very dumb. Can I get better than plus 225 against Shane McClanahan? I bet we do. It's a really good pitcher on the mound, and I think that only improves our chances of getting a very profitable number here on Fernando Tatis. So while others might shy away, we come out to play. Fernando Tatis, friends, that would be the homer play. Gotta see the number, though. That kind of matters. 2 games to go. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as we head to the White Sox, heading into Seattle, the best pitchers park in baseball so far this season. Pretty wild. Actually, over the course of a 1.5 year sample size. Forgive me for I have sinned. I'm not going to look it up right now. Either way, Kopech going up against Mr. Brian Kenny Wu. I love the Mighty Ducks, but Brian Wu, it's been a tough start for him here. He carved up AA, it was, in Arkansas. Just noticed that. But Brian Wu, 10.80 ERA thus far. That isn't ideal. He does have 11 strikeouts. Let's give him some time. Let's give him a little bit of time. And we should bet against him, though, for right now. That's what we're going to do. We're going to absolutely bet against him with Michael Kopech here in this spot. White Sox, again, a lot of money lines with plus money attached to him here. Give me the dogs all the live long day here. Just a better pitcher right now. 1.18 whip, 4.03 ERA. The Seattle lineup's kind of been disappointing all season long. They strike out a ton, 25.3% K rate against righties, just barely below league average, 98 WRC plus against righties. Last game of the night. Let's roll the tape. No pitchers announced for either one of them. Cool. Dodgers, money line, lane. Happy weekend, everybody. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board for Friday's slate. 15 games. Going to be a lot of action in this Discord. You're going to want to check that out. Check out BetMGM. That's the easiest way to get 2 free months. Yes, 2 free months just by signing up and trying a new book. You don't like it? Go ahead and hit eject, but stick around. Hang out with us in the premium Discord with only MLB here going forward and PGA, of course, on my side. Going to be a pretty great summer to be involved. NBA's now in the rear view. I miss you. I love you. Can't wait to have you back, but it's going to be a while. Going to be a little bit of, it's going to be a while. So we got MLB. Going to be focused on that for you here every single day. Well, Sunday through Friday, unless I want to get divorced. Sounds good, everybody. Alrighty, y'all. Until next week, you got Eitan Shander over the weekend, per usual. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Friday.